Hello and welcome to another update video about FET. FET is currently in correction mode. That is the first decent correction we had in a while. A lot of people got frustrated in recent months when FET and other coins didn't show any pullbacks, any decent pullbacks. So I hope everybody is basically just keen to maybe look for positions at these Fibonacci levels that I offer in this analysis. Obviously, at the moment, the trend is still down, and I think it is wise, generally, that's a very general statement, it is wise to assume lower prices until the market shows a first reaction. At the moment, the trend is clearly still down. Yeah, we are forming here lower lows and lower highs. So therefore, I can only share with you the relevant scenarios, and I've got two scenarios here. They are both bullish at the moment, but I will have to make a larger change to the chart below $1.28. At the moment, it is actually quite straightforward. I always try to keep it really as simple as possible. The trend, in my opinion, is still up or has a chance for trend continuation as long as we're holding above 128. Below 128, I will have to reinterpret the chart, and it's getting far more risky to be trading on the long side. Honestly, that is like the key pivot here on the chart, 128. Now, that doesn't mean it couldn't be bullish below that anymore, but we would need to rebuild the structure, need to rethink about the structure. At the moment, there's no need for it because we're not even close to $1.28. And a lot of people got, well, how do you say? Now we got used to just rising prices. Now we see the first decent correction, but a correction was forecasted here. I gave you the support zones, and we've really not even entered the orange support area for the FET chart. Still plenty of space. That doesn't mean you should go all in aggressively here. I mean, from a tactical point of view, I mean, this is only the analysis, right? I mean, I can only really share with you my understanding of the wave count, the structure, the Fibonacci levels. Is the trend still up, and when does the trend change to the downside? I'm not really calling markets. I'm not calling markets to the upside. I'm not calling markets to the downside. It's just to understand what are the relevant pivots, and that's what the analysis can offer, and then share with you when we see a first indication that, for example, a low has formed into these support regions. If the assumption on the chart is correct, we should see a reaction either to the yellow support zone or the orange one, but below 128, yeah, we would have to change the interpretation on the chart. That might happen, we might break that. It's obviously there are correlations in the crypto space, and it's too simplistic to say everything depends on Bitcoin, because that's not the case. But they tend to follow Bitcoin, of course, to a degree. But then they're all in different wave degrees. So sometimes when Bitcoin is in a sharper correction, some altcoins might not correct that much, okay? But at the moment, we are still in a situation in which Bitcoin dominance is still high, and therefore Bitcoin is still leading overall, yeah? So it's worth watching that as well. So I think FET has a good chance to hold the support area, but obviously there is absolutely no sign at the moment of a low in place. There are two counts. I don't trust the micro count. That's a general warning that I put out when I don't trust the micro count. That should always highlight that, okay, if a support area breaks, don't be surprised about it. So if the yellow one breaks, don't be surprised, because I don't really trust the count here. I don't trust the white count. I don't trust the yellow count, which actually, so the yellow count relates to this yellow support area, whereas actually the white count could get a more extended correction into the orange area. But, it's this entire zone that should be seen as an entire support area. And yeah, as I said before, I think it's wise to assume further downside until we see a first reaction. And I offer these Fibonacci levels to you so you can watch for these reactions. You might just want to scale into this support area. That is one approach that could be done. I just tell you generally what is possible and might be a reasonable approach. But if you do so, again, no altcoin chart is there are no altcoin charts that are charts for those that, don't know how to manage positions. You need to know how to manage your position size. So on the way down, obviously, it's like catching the falling knife. So you cannot be aggressive, right? So you need to be careful. You shouldn't be afraid to stop out when the trade isn't working out. And you can be more aggressive if there is a first reaction to the upside, which could resemble a so-called 1-2 setup to the upside, which means a 5-wave move up and a 3-wave move to the downside. At the moment, I'm tracking here an ABC structure. Now that could be ABC in wave 2, or it could be in the C wave, obviously. So ABC in wave 2 or ABC in wave 4. The wave 4 allows for a deeper pullback if needed. And then we have some Fibonacci confluence around $2.06. Then we have $1.87 as support. The low 160 area is another area where we have a bit of confluence, and then $1.28. So if we take a look at Fibonacci extensions, take the length of the A wave, we go to the high of the B wave. I mean, then technically speaking, this is an additional area to watch, and the 100% extension level is typically an area where, or a level where a C wave reacts. That's $2.18. So we're in the yellow zone. Technically speaking, from here, we need to be ready for a reaction, right? But I don't see anything too convincing yet. Okay, so it's this area where we're watching for reaction, the overall area, maybe additional levels of interest, $2.18, $2.02, $1.93, and $1.78, but they are all scattered within the yellow support zone. So I think it's enough to observe the yellow zone and watch for reaction. Looks unfinished to me at this stage, and it would take a break above the B wave high to indicate that a low is in, at $3.02 that is. We might get a first indication that some kind of a low is in place if we get a break above 255, but that would be really the earliest signal. That's a 50% fib level of the C wave down, and that could be really an early signal that some kind of a low is in place. Yeah, that's my update about FET. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.